Hello everyone, my name is Julio and today I'm going to show you how to test for cross-site scripting vulnerabilities in a practice lab environment. First, let us understand how the cross-site scripting works and the type of cross-site scripting as well. The purpose of this attack is to inject malicious code into a web application in order to be executed and perform whatever malicious activity that the attacker wishes. This attack is mostly used to trick users and either reveal sensitive information or to make them download malware without their knowledge. The two most common cross-site scripting attacks are reflected and stored. The reflected attack is also called non-persistent attack. And here, the attacker attempts to use scripting commands in the URL itself or through a device, such as a web form. This is done to gain administrator or some other elevated level of user privileges in an attempt to force the victim server to display the desired data on the screen. The other one, the persistent or store cross-site scripting attack, is the most serious flavor. Here, the attack payload is stored in the website itself, and when anyone visits the page, regardless of the URL followed, the attack executes. For this demonstration, I'm gonna be using the DBWA tool, which is already set up with some vulnerabilities regarding web applications, such as SQL injections, brute force, file inclusion, etc. In my case, I will be using the web application with some cross-site scripting vulnerabilities. As we can see here in this graph, this is a perfect example of a cross-site scripting scenario where the attacker or perpetrator embed a malicious code, and in this case he's trying to steal cookie information. The attacker sends an URL to the victim. The victim, when he clicks on that URL, is actually sending his cookie information to the perpetrator, and in that way the attacker could later use that cookie and log in as the visitor on that website and start doing malicious activity. For my test, I'm going to be using the DBWA application as I mentioned before. In this case, I'm testing for cross-site scripting reflected attack. Here the application is expecting a username or my name, and the application is only return a welcome message like this: hello Julio. Now if you want to test if this web application is accepting scripting language, you can send a message between these brackets, and if your result is something like this without your name, that means that your embedded message was accepted by the application. So let's try a different script to be executed by the web application. Now I'm gonna try to make this web application show me a message after I put this script. As you see, I'm generating an alert with this message inside the parentheses, and then I just close the script. If I click submit, now you see how this pop-up message is shown to me. What that means, in the backend, the server is allowing me to run a script this doesn't do any damage, just showing a message on the screen, but this allowing me to run whatever code that I might put here. So let's try a more malicious script. I'm going to try to get my cookie session information. In the same way, I open a script, and in an alert, I ask him to show the cookie document for this session, and then close the script. If I click submit, now the alert is showing me my PHP session ID. How can I verify if this is my session ID? Well, let's remember the last digits, 7ARL2. So let's go to Tools, Options in my browser, get to the cookie section, and here on this local host, which is where my application is running, I'm gonna look for the PHP session ID, and as you see, it's the same cookie ID, 7Q7ARL2. So how can this be used by an attacker? Well, this is more likely used in the other type of cross-site scripting attack, the store one, where an attacker will post a message in a shared environment where multiple users can log in, and then those users will be sending that cookie ID to the attacker. So the only thing that we need to do is to modify a little bit my script. Instead of showing an alert on the website, the code is actually grabbing the session ID, the session cookie ID, and send it to the attacker, where he's gonna be accepting those cookie IDs, and later on, those IDs can be used to start a new session for the attacker and make him believe the server or the web application that a legitimate user is using those login credentials. Thank you for watching, guys, and I hope this video has helped you to understand how attackers take advantage of poorly designed websites and how you can test by yourself this vulnerability in the future. Thank you, and have a good day. Bye.